Hey guys, Luna Gaming here, and welcome back to another video. And in this video, I am going to be showing you guys how to play Stranded Deep. And in this video, I am not going to be showing you guys the little guide thing that's in the corner. You guys can figure out how to do the guide. It shows everything right there on what you're supposed to do. But I will be covering everything else that is after the guide that is like basic that you need. And if you guys want to see a video on how to build and how to make like rafts and stuff on your own, how to make like sailboats and stuff like that, leave a comment down below on what one you would like to see me make a video on, and let's try to get 10 likes on this video. And yeah, I'm going to cut right to the part after I'm done doing this guide thing, and I'll be showing you guys how to play Stranded Deep. Okay, so I did the tutorial and got some of the materials on the island, and I'm going to be showing you how to make a tool belt and a water still. And so you will need three rocks, 2 tarps, 1 coconut, 3 lashings, and 1 palm frond to make everything. So if you want to make a normal tool belt, you'll need 1 lashing and 1 tarp. So you go over here, and then you go over to the very last one, and you can make a tool belt. So you're probably like, okay, what does a tool belt do? So on console, instead of tapping L1, you will hold L1 instead. Oh, it just messed up. And you can add an item. So I will add this. And so now, when you press up on the D-pad, it pulls out that item, and it's like it's a slot. So now I only have 3 out of 4 spears and the ones on my tool belt, and obviously you can get better tool belts as you go along, but that one is the easiest one to make. And then cloth is like kind of easy to make, which if you guys want me to make another video, I will be teaching you guys how to make cloth, but you can also find it from shipwrecks, but it's kind of rare to find it from shipwrecks. So for the next thing, if we want to make this, you don't really need 3 lashings, but it's always good to have some extra lashings as well. So you will need 3 rocks, and then 1 of these, and you actually will need the 3 lashings, sorry. So basically what you have to do is you have to get a coconut. It has to be like a brand new coconut, I'm pretty sure. Then you go over to this, consumables. Then you make a coconut flask. And then after you do that, you have everything to craft a water still. So you can place it anywhere. It will spawn with the palm frond that you had. So to fuel the water still, you will need palm fronds, so you can get them from any of these trees over here. But it will not fill up if you don't have fuel in the bottom of it. If you have 4 in the bottom, it will fill up the whole thing. But if you only have 1, it will only fill up a quarter of the way. And it gives you enough water, but it doesn't give you that much water. So to fill it up, to fill up your water from empty to full, you'll probably need to drink probably three of them. I haven't checked, but you'll probably need to drink around 3 out of the 4 that are in the water still. And another thing that I need to mention is there's a very limited amount of resources on islands. So you will need to venture out to different islands, but you should always have like a main camp. Like you need to find a nice island, and then have that as your main camp. Like you can go anywhere else. You might get lost maybe on different islands, but you will find this island at some point, and then you'll remember. You'll be like, oh right, this is my main camp island, and then that's what you should always do. And if you ever venture to different islands, you should always bring wooden crates. Now the reason why you should always bring wooden crates is you can see how much inventory space you have. This is like without the tool belt. Obviously you can hold 1 thing in your tool belt when you have a normal tool belt that I made. But so basically the wooden crate, there's obviously stuff in the wooden crate because I found it, but you can find them on shipwrecks, and You can find them on some islands if there's like a man-made structure there, and you might just be able to find them. But you can hold 3 things in a wooden crate, but it only takes up 1 slot in your inventory. So when you go to an island with your raft, you should place them down right next to your raft, and then you can fill them up and then pick them up and then go back. So basically you just get extra inventory space. So every 1 inventory is like 3 inventory spaces. So, and I actually found out that some people actually didn't know about that. And also, you should always make sure that you craft. Obviously, you have to craft the refined knife inside of the like tutorial thing, which everyone probably knows how to do. And if you don't, I can make a video on how to actually do the normal tutorial if anybody actually gets stuck. But you should always make this hammer. It's super easy to make, and it breaks trees way quicker, like way quicker. And you should always make sure, like, if you can't find a hammer inside of shipwrecks and stuff like that, which the ones that you find in shipwrecks have more durability, and it takes less time to actually make the structure, because when you're making it, you actually have to individually hit it, and it goes up a little bit, which it takes longer with this one. But if you want to make, like, buildings and stuff like that, you craft the hammer, you hold it out in your, like, you hold it in your hand, and you go over to building, and you can build everything that is unlocked. So for level 1 and 2, you can only craft wood things, and then you can craft like metal that you find on the ground and stuff like that over time. And if you guys are struggling to look for ships, like sunken ships around, there is the little bubbles right there, and the bubbles always indicate that there is a ship like way down. But it might not be that good of an idea to go down to ships when you first spawn, and you should only go to the ones that you can kind of see. So like this one, I went over that, that's how I got the crate. Which there's normally always, when you spawn on a random island, when you have a random generated island, there normally always is 1 or 2 ships on your first island that you can see. And there's always at least going to be 1 tarp, because there might only be 1 tarp on an island, which you should always make the water still first, and then if you have time, you can make the tool belt, which you should always make, because it basically just gives you extra inventory. Now, for the life raft, you should always make sure whenever you're building, this island isn't that big, so I couldn't really do it, but you can see the different color of sand, so it's actually lighter over here and it's darker over here, but that's because the tide rises, and especially when it's a storm, the tide will rise a lot, and you should always make sure that your raft is on, like, the lighter colored sand, because if you don't, the only way you can get to different islands is using this raft, unless you make your own raft. But you will most likely, for the first, like, 5-6 days at least, you will be using this life raft. You won't be using like an actual raft that you make. And when you are in the water and you're going around, if you start hearing, you'll notice that there's actually shark music that starts playing when you're in the water. Sharks can tip your raft over, so I wouldn't suggest picking stuff up and putting it in your raft when you're trying to paddle along, because if they do tip it, you will lose everything that's inside the raft. And if you put too much stuff in here, it will actually start to lopside the raft, and it might actually flip on its own. Now, I will tell you guys how to pick up stuff. So you go over something, and obviously you can pick it up like this, but if you want to drag it around on PlayStation, it's actually L2, and you can walk around and like move it around wherever you want. So it's actually easier to like move stuff, and you should always have your stuff like nice and cleaned up. Like you should have like a food pile, and then you should have like a pile for all your sticks, and a pile for everything else. It just makes it like way easier. And another thing that I need to point out, if you are near an object on the ground, you don't actually need to pick it up to craft with that item. you just need to have it in front of you. Like, see, I don't think I have any stone on me, but there's these 2 stones in front of me, and I can make the stone tool, which some people actually don't know about that. And these plants over here, so you have the aloe plant, which basically what you do is you'll probably need to make another one of these, like, another one of, let me just find it real quick. You'll have to make another one of these coconut flasks, and basically what you do is, obviously you need to level up and stuff like that, but the aloe thing that you can drink, it actually, like, helps you heal a little bit, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but it actually helps you heal a little bit, I'm pretty sure. And then there's this one plant, you should always make sure you take this plant, because if you get poisoned, there's a plant, I don't have it here, but there's a plant called the PP plant. I know it's kind of a weird name, but there's a plant called the PP plant. You should always take it, because if you get 2 of them, if you get poisoned, you will slowly die. So whenever you find a plant, every plant has a use. I don't quite know what every single use is yet, because I'm still fairly new to this game, but you should always pick it up. And say that you don't find anything good on your island, you can just grab some stuff and then go to a different island, because you don't really have to worry about food right off the bat, because inside of you have a little storage. It spawns the same thing every time. I don't know, I've only played normal mode. I don't know if you play on, like, hard mode, less stuff spawns in here, but you get 3 rations, and they actually give you a lot of food and water. So that's my food and water right now, and let me just eat one of these, and then that's my food and water now. So it gives you quite a bit. I don't know exactly how much it gives you, but it gives you quite a bit, so you can last probably a day and a half off just those. But I would suggest not to, because you should always get the crabs and stuff like that and cook them up. But another thing is, you should never live off coconut water. If you live off coconut water, you will have, like, diarrhea. You won't be able to see it, I don't think, but you will have diarrhea in game. And I don't know if they changed this, because I used to play this game a long time ago on PC as well, but you'll have diarrhea if you eat too much coconut and drink too much coconut milk, and you'll basically lose all the food and hunger that you, like, the food and water that you get from, like, what coconuts you've had so far, and it actually lasts for a little bit, so you'll lose, like, double the amount of food and double the amount of water, so it's not really worth it. And you should always have a shelter, because obviously you can, like, save. And say that you save and you go break something, like a tree or something, it will not save you breaking the tree. So always make sure you save right before you end the game, because you can make shelters, like, everywhere. You can make a shelter on a different island, or you can actually make a bed and use that bed, and you can pick it up and save wherever you want, which I haven't done that yet, but you can do that. But yeah, always make sure you pick up the plants. Even if you don't know what they do, you can always search it up, just like you searched up this video and you're watching this video right now. But you can always search up what all of these plants do, say that you're poisoned or something. And so the reason how you check if you're poisoned or something like that, you pull out your watch, which it tells you how to pull it out inside of the tutorial. And you go over, you know, you can see all your skills and stuff like that, but you can see your status effects. Now, obviously, when you first start this game, you're healthy, and you can become healthy again, but obviously, if you get attacked by a shark, or a crab, or a snake, you won't be healthy, and if you get attacked by a snake, you will be poisoned, and I don't quite know what they're called, but there's these little purple, they're like these purple sea urchin things, like, they're pretty big. If you step on one of those, you will get poisoned as well, and you can get poisoned by, like, water snakes. There's a lot of things that can poison you, and poisoning is probably one of the more deadly ones out of them, because you can die from dehydration and hunger, which really isn't a problem after the first few days. And so yeah, that's basically the, like, basics of the game. If you guys want me to make a video on a different topic, or if you have any questions, please ask me in the comments and I will answer them. And yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoy this video.